Hi guys, in previous lectures we cover variables in JavaScript. Now in this lecture we start the most important topic, that is a if statement. If statements are logic statement that is used for logic building. Means if you have a multiple statements and you want to check one by one and print one of them that is true, we use if statement. For example, if the number is equal to 1 and you want to check the number is equal to 1 or greater than 1 or less than 1, you simple use if statement. If statements are very handy and very useful in programming language. So let's get practical. I go to here and I remove all of these our previous functions and also remove these of tags. So from scratch I simple write here variable and I want to check here x is equal to 1. Now I check if statements, and this is the logic building of if statement, and this is the basic syntax of if statement. First I want to create a variable that is x and we want to store the 1 into x, that is assigning variable. So after this we have if statement. If statement, first I write here if keyword and after this we have a small parenthesis. In these small parentheses, we check the conditions. Whether the number is true or false, we check in this small parenthesis. After this curly braces, in between these, we print anything that we want or any functions we perform here, we use in these two curly braces. So now I check whether our x is equal to 1 or not. So in this, I write here x, that is our variable, and is equal to 1. Now, this is the big difference between one equal and a double equal. That is a big difference. Single equal or one equal means our this value is assigning to our this variable. From right side value is assigning to our left side variable. So that a single equal means. Double equal means we have to compare the values. Means we check this our this x value is equal to 1 or not. So this is the comparison between single equal and double equal. Single equal, simple assigning the value to this variable, and the double equal, check our number is equal to this or not. So that is a big difference. Many newbies are confused, but this is a easy way, because when we check the numbers is equal to this or anything that is equal to this, we use a double equal, and if we make a variable and assigning any value to any variable, we use a single value, single equal. So in this I write here alert and I write print to yes, this is equal to 1. Save it and now reload. So now you see, yes, this is equal to 1. Our printing is here because our variables has a value of 1, and we check in this condition whether the x is equal to 1 and the value of x is 1 and 1 is equal to 1, that is true. Therefore it's print this. But if I write here 2 and save it, now I refresh, so nothing has happened. If I go to console, inspect here and go to console, so nothing is also here happened, because this is not an error. This is our value is not equal to this. Our value of x is equal to 1 and we compare here 1 is equal to 2, that is not equal. So that is why it's not print this. It only go to this function block here if our condition is true. If our condition is false, that not print any things. For this we use here else statement. I write here else, and in else I simple alert no, no value is not equal. Save it and now after I reload, so now you see no value is not equal. Our second alert is printing because this condition is not true. If it's not true, it not prints anything in this block, and it's go to a further next block, and here it prints anything. If first one is not true, then it prints. If first one is true, then it not prints the second one. Only one statement is true, that is printing. So that is the two statement. If we have three statement, if we want to check three statements or more than three statements, so what would I do? For this, we go to make a simple another paragraph, that is a teenage. We check the number of teenage. Teenage number is equal to 18, and we check if that number is equal to x, is 18 or less than 18 or greater than 18. For this we have three statements, and if I write here var age, I name a variable that is age, and I write here 18. Oh sorry, if I write here teenage, that is a better way to understand. Teenage number is equal to 18, and if I print here if statements, and I write here if teenage is equal to 18, then what it prints, it alert you are teenage. And now we have the three statements. For this, if we want to check the second statements, we write here else if. That is the second block, and we check here if teenage is greater than 18. So you alert here you are greater than teenage. After this, we have one statement print because we have only one after this. If our number is equal, that is one statement. If it's greater than, and the last one, it automatically last one, that is less than 18. We do not have any conditions to check because this is our last one remaining. So I write here alert you are below than teenage. So if I save it, and now if I reload, now our variable is teenage, that is 18. So you guess what is printing first. So if I reload it, you see here you are teenage because our first condition is true here, and our if statement is true and it's done alert, and all the code is now ignored. If I write here 19, now our teenage is greater than, so this statement is printing. This is not print, and now this is printing because our teenage is now 19 and our value is 18. So if I save it and reload, so now you see you are greater than teenage. So now our second block is printing. After this, we have the last block, that is if our value is less than 18 or teenage. Now I write here 17, and if I print here, you see here you are below than teenage. Our last block is printing because first two block is now not specify our condition to true. That is why our last block is printing. So that is the basic concept of teenage. Now in this video, I want to tell you one more thing. If I write here console.log, and if I save and now reload, and I write the value of here 18 by default value. Now nothing is printing. If I go to here inspect, go to inspect and console here. So now you see you are teenage is printing is now our console. That is the third way to test our output, that is console.log. If I write all of on these console.log here, the second statement and for the third statement also. So now you see here, if I save it and now reload, so now our you are teenage is printing because our first condition is met here and the check condition is true. That is why it's printing here. If I wanted to 19, now you see here our second is printing you are greater than teenage. Now if I write here 17, now our third statement is print because it conditions our according to third statement. You are below than teenage. So that is the best way to use console.logs. We also use for many of these. So that is the basic statements of else, if else if. So you practice them and makes many programs here and practical them. So here we end this lecture. Please like the video, so subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching.